What's up, everybody? Welcome to the
Hey.
original Next Level Gaming Podcast. I can't see a thing, just to let you guys know. So I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know if I hit the right button. I don't know if we're live. I think we're live. No, I know we're live, but I can't see anything.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I cannot do the NL Gaming Podcast in VR yet, but perhaps next year it's coming. So how's everybody doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. You tired?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm a little tired too.
I'm seasick.
Well, you're seasick.
Seasick.
Nice.
Arr.
Arr. So I was wearing this. I was gonna wear this in honor of having our guests on tonight, the PlayStation Bras. But the actual PlayStation Bra himself hit me up like an hour ago and said, "Oh my God, I totally forgot. We're going out with I think he said my brother and sister-in-law to see The Last Jedi. I totally forgot." So he feels really bad about not being on. And so we're going to get the gang on in January, either second or third week in January. We just have to lock down which one that is, because we already have the first week in January booked up with our very good friends, the WFC crew. And and we have a special guest from overseas that's going to be on one of these other weeks. So we're going to try to figure out how to make that schedule work. So, but you know, I was hoping that they'd be on and I'd be able to wear this in their honor since I won it from them, and it's actually really cool. It's as you might expect with a lower end VR product. It's got its hitches, but overall, pretty good experience. So I know HTK, you have it.
Yep.
So would that be a fair assessment?
Yeah.
No. I'm not digging the queasiness I get just yet.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple of and you know what, Peter, you and I we're gonna have to double dip and buy Trackmania, because I forgot to tell you.
Is that so cool? Is that cool?
Oh my God! And that was let me tell you, that looked better than GT Sport. No kidding.
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
And I know people were complaining about GT Sport being that it only had one-on-one racing and things like that. That didn't bother me. I'm okay with that. If it's just me against the track, I don't mind that. But I don't know if it just the lower resolution headset versus an Oculus or a Vive that just made the game really blurry.
Right.
But I don't know if it's that though, because the game that the other disc that came with the headset was the second demo disc, which has Res Infinite on it and a couple other demos, and like Res looked incredible. Thumper, although I'm not sure if Thumper is as much my kind of game as I thought it would be, but Thumper looked impressive. Like, there's a lot of stuff here that looks really good and really sharp. GT Sport just did not. So,
Yeah.
like, I think one of the I downloaded the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, like the space combat sim, the little space combat game they had, and that was sharp as a tack. So I don't know what the story is, but
Yeah. Also, like you have to get your hands on Farpoint.
I know you keep saying, and apparently I don't need the Move controller or the gun for Farpoint.
No, you do not. The gun makes it more immersive, though.
Okay. Well.
And the Move controllers, I rarely use them.
Yeah, I kind of think that's where
I don't know if it's yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Now I will say too that it's very comfortable. I'm no kidding. And the other thing that I thought was really cool about this was the stuff that is non-VR is put up on a screen inside the headset that actually could be bigger than my, in scale to the 72-inch TV I have here. So I was kind of digging just playing some stuff without the VR, just seeing it on a cool headset, and that kind of thing, which is something that I know HoloLens, or not HoloLens, it was Oculus was supposed to be able to do, hooked up to something with the Xbox app or something like that. You could display games and stuff onto the back of a theater wall or something like that. So it is kind of cool. All right, so let me take this thing off. Hold on. I am Judge Dredd. All right, hang on. Let me get myself together for a second here. All right.
But the headset is comfortable.
Huh?
Yeah, it gets. I hear it gets high marks for comfort.
It does. I'm very comfortable. It's very comfortable. It doesn't and it fits really well. That I was very impressed with. The fact that it does not it doesn't press on anything. The padding is right where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. And it seems balanced, so it doesn't
does
feel
seem
heavy
balanced
on one side.
No, you're right. And I'm the only thing that I don't like about the wiring. I know people kind of made fun of the amount of wiring and stuff that came with it, but I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing that bothers me about the wiring, and it's maybe because of where I'm able to have it hooked up, is the fact that the base PS4 does not have a rear USB port. And that it makes it a little ugly to have the USB sticking out of the front.
Yeah, I can see it.
So, but otherwise, I didn't really. I mean, yeah, it took a half hour to hook it up. I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't for anything other than the fact that I had to do some cable routing and hook up the camera, which was, actually, I have to say it's a decent camera. It's not quite as immersive look, or I guess it doesn't have quite the resolution of the of Kinect by any stretch, but it is still a decent camera. I was kind of impressed with it. And it's small.
Yeah, it's tiny.
So yeah, my experience so far. Some of the games on the VR disc, I haven't finished them all yet, but Trackmania was fantastic. I mean, that I was like, wow. And it looks like there's a decent amount of tracks too.
Does it have the same amount of tracks as the regular game, just in VR?
I have to look, but it was crazy because what they do is they put you really high in the air, so you look down and you're standing on like a scaffold. And I have vertigo. I'm not a height guy. And a couple times I'd look down and I'd get a little freaked out. It's cool.
Yeah, in the chat they also mentioned super hot, which is cool too.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to stand while you're playing it, because otherwise I was like sitting and I couldn't reach certain things, so it kind of got a little frustrating.
Well, yeah, and I've got to get used to what I have to stand and sit on, that I can stand and sit while playing. And one of the demos I got, which somebody had highly recommended, was the Last Guardian VR demo. So it looks great. And again, this is one of those games that actually doesn't look as low res as GT Sport did. I don't know what the deal with GT Sport was. I honestly don't. But, and I think this is the problem that I might have with Doom, looking at some of the videos that I saw on Doom, was in order to move, it's like point and click, or you look and then you click when you're looking at something. So it's not free moving at all. You have to go to designated points in order to get where you want.
So it's really on rails then?
It's totally on rails.
Okay.
And I'm hoping
Yeah.
that that's not how. I'm hoping that's not how the full game will be. Maybe the full game won't be. Maybe the full game will just be a VR version of what the actual game is. I'm hoping, because it has potential, and Trico looks amazing in VR. I can't lie, it looks amazing, but I wasn't keen on the movement. And especially since, games like that, the Infinite Warfare demo, that was totally free moving. Like that was not on rails at all.
Yeah, same thing with Farpoint.
Yeah.
Farpoint. I mean, when you move it, it's really good. They did a very good implementation of.
So how do you move?
You use it on the gun, like you have your your directional pad down there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you move, and then
Okay, but it's free moving.
it's free moving.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Doom did not look free moving. Doom looked, unless it's a fast jump or something like that, because it looks in demo videos that I've seen where you have to kind of point and click to where you want to move, and then you can turn around and shoot. I don't know that I'm gonna like that.
Yeah.
So trying to think what else. Oh, Tiny Tracks by Future Lab. That's another one. Now this is more along the lines of one of those little. It's a take on, not RC racing, but as a kid, guys, we'd have those put together electric car tracks with the slot racers, electric slot racers. It's a game based on that, but instead of being behind the wheel, you're looking at the track from afar, and you're looking up, down. You can look, and the track is like all around you. So you're looking while you're driving, and you're controlling the car as it goes. And that was a neat experience, too.
That's pretty slick.
Yeah. So Bunny is saying Farpoint is free movement. Doom is teleport only. So, yeah, I'm not going to be down for that.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that doesn't do it for me. Which is fine. I mean, it is what it is.
What about Skyrim? I'm curious about it. Skyrim VR.
I would.
The thing is, like, I don't want to play the whole game unless I get it like dirt cheap, because I played it on the 360. I didn't 100% finish it, but it's like,
Maybe what I do is see if it's at the library, because there are some games at the library, and I might have to go and check and see if it's there. So I have to go and see what's there, what VR games are there.
And mine doesn't have any games, so
I'm intrigued. What else did you get that you would recommend?
Well, I got the what's it called? Is it like World, where you have kind of the short kind of games. One of them is like London Heist. I think it is.
Plays VR Worlds or whatever.
VR Worlds, yeah. Yeah, I did the little
luge thing.
Yeah, and the luge. Let's see what else.
Is that
was
in the
on there.
store?
But the shark where you go down in a cage.
I saw it. Right, I saw that.
Yeah, that's the one that I created a video. That was cool.
I'm gonna have to
look. Yeah, I still need to play Resident Evil 7.
I can't wait. I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
But this is what with VR, with all the cables and stuff, it's kind of a drag to set it up. Like, I don't have my headset connected here 24/7, so it's like, I have to get it out of the box, hook it back up.
Star
Especially
Trek
if you also want to do.
Super safe.
And also if you want to, stream it, it's kind of like a hassle.
Yeah, I'm not not streaming,
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's if you didn't have any cables, that would make it so much easier and easy to pick up and start going.
The only thing about the cables to me is that it just limits where I can be. Mm-hmm. So I can't sit back on my couch and play with this. I have to pull a chair into the middle of the room, or if I'm standing. But I have the box. I have the processor box. There's enough room in my entertainment center where I have the PlayStation here, and I have the processor box next to it. So I'm not the only thing that I'm plugging in are the cables to the headset, and then the headset to the end of that, and that's really all I'm doing. So it's not terrible, and I have a nice place to store it.
Okay. Yeah, I just keep mine in that box the box within the box, the white box that opens kind of on the side. So that's where I keep mine in.
Oh, that's a nice place. That's actually a nice. As boxes go, that's actually a nice box.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's so it keeps it as much as dust free as it can be.
Did I try Moss? Bunny is asking me if I tried Moss. What is Moss? I'm not sure what game that is. I did get the fun room or whatever that was. Creepy. So if you wanna, you said you were gonna meet up with me when I got that. I did get that. So I mean, I'm intrigued. I'm more intrigued than I thought I would be. This is another one of those things. Moss is the that mouse game that was coming out from Polyarc. I know what he's talking about. I didn't know there was a demo. I'll go look for it. This was one of those things that, and I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'm full disclosure. If I didn't win it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Just because it intrigues me, but I've lived through now 3D TV and I've lived through Kinect and I've been a lot more cautious. I know it's getting a lot of support and I know that they're pushing us hard, and that's good. I appreciate that now that I have one. But I'm more interested in it having put it on and played it than I was if I didn't. So
yeah, in the comfort of your home.
In the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
So I once again have to thank those guys over at PlayStation Bros. I'm just still blown away by the fact that I have this thing now, and I really appreciate them giving it away. So. All right. Oh boy. So that's my.
Super Cooper mentioned Eve Valkyrie. That's a good one, too.
Yeah, that's on the demo disc. That's on that second demo disc.
Okay, yeah, definitely check that one out.
All right.
Nate.
Come here.
Cool.
Yeah.
My thing was stuck to the screen, so I couldn't see the chat, the little Skype box. So I hit exit. I didn't know that would mess up everything. The little folder box.
All right. Well, enough of what I've been playing this week. What about you guys? What have you been up to, Juan?
Wife wanted to do a playthrough of Telltale's Walking Dead game, Season 1, because we had Season 2. I think, didn't Season 2 go against Gold? Is that where I got it from?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we were looking to start that, but we didn't have our save from 1, and it had been long enough that it was worth doing again. So we did Season 1 there over the past week on that. It's such a good game. I forgot how good it was. It really is really pretty solid. Did the 400 days add-on too. It was pretty decent. Other than that, I played some Elite Dangerous. I hadn't been in that one for a little while, but I dusted it back off because as they've been really clever about working the alien race into the game, and I may have hit upon that before on the show, but I love that they're not doing it as a DLC, or they're not marketing it. They're not saying, hey, we're adding this, buy this expansion, but they put them in the game and let players find them, or let them find the players, and it's been this mystery, and they found installations and all this. So it's been kind of a community thing that's been pretty sweet, and there were 3 stations that were put into the game to do research to increase our technology and give us a better shot against the Thargoids. But apparently they got wind of it, or it went too far or something, because they turned on those stations, and those stations got effed up. And they put out and they did it just viral. They put it out on Twitter as a video from one of the stations, like a CGI, a cutscene, but they're under attack. It was pretty impressive, and I hopped in my Clipper, which is outfitted for for passenger hauling. I'm like a first class charter ship, and I ripped out the first class cabins because they're big and threw in some economy so I could jam more people on there, and flew to the station and arrived, and it's all screwed up looking. It looks awesome. It's all tore up, and these things are invincible. Like in player versus player stuff, these things you can't attack them. They'll mess you up if you try. So to see one wrecked after a couple of years of play was a pretty big thing. And then when you come into the system, the flight controller comes up on your audible, and he, instead of the usual greeting, hey, it's good to see you, Commander, or welcome, ally, or whatever, you can dock. It's oh my God, we're all messed up. If you can, if you at your own risk, feel free to dock and help people get off. So you fly in, and the temperature's all wrong. Like it's like the air is liquid fire basically, and your ship takes damage from overheating as you're entering and exiting. So you have to be pretty good at, and you can't manually dock, or auto dock, because they're all messed up. So you have to. It's like a docking test almost. You load up a bunch of people, take them off, and save them. It's just kind of a neat event. I like how they're working this into the story and how they're getting players involved. And I thought that was really slick. I actually have a video up of one of the runs into the station that I made up on my YouTube. So feel free to hop over there, and it's like a 10-minute video on just what it was about for anyone who would be interested.
Cool.
I'm playing a lot of Forza, of course.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And a lot of a game we are not allowed to mention?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Although I think there's a lot of people doing it now.
Yeah, I had to help out a couple people this week. Say, hey, there's still an NDA on this game. You can't be showing screenshots. And they're like, oh shit, and they'll take the screenshots down.
Yeah, you got to. But I've been really, really hooked on Sea of Thieves Alpha. It's they one of the big concerns I had, because I enjoyed what I had. I've been in the alpha for a while. Been playing it for a while on and off. I wasn't going in every time they opened because I didn't want to kind of wear myself out on the content before it was going to go live. But not long after they announced the date, they put out a video with the progression system and how it's going to work. And I really like where they're going with it, because it doesn't have any of that light or levels, like The Division or Destiny, where you can be left behind. Like, that's what got me out of Destiny 1 was my gaming ADD set in, and I played something else for a while, and I was a lot of light points lower than my friends, and then suddenly I was no use to them, couldn't hurt anything where they were fighting, and I wasn't like, hey, come grind me up, or so I can play with you. And I said, whatever, no. So I kind of stopped, because I wasn't to play with randoms either. But that can't happen in this game. Everyone's progression is their own and shared. So as they showed in the video, you get a job, and you can put it on a table. Everyone on the ship puts a job on the table. Everybody votes and picks one, and then regardless of whether that's a job you could buy from the vendor or not, you get that full credit if it gets completed. And so it's pretty cool like that. Had just a lot of fun recently with Coop and Nathan and Peter, and you were all with us that night. For a while, I've done a lot of solo. I've done a lot of two-man ship. Me and Peter went out on a two-man ship. Oh yeah! And we took down another sloop. That was good fun. We dove a wreck. You see seagulls flying, and there's barrels, and there's a wreck down there. So we dove in, hauled out a treasure chest. When the four of us were doing it, Cooper brought out a 300 gold chest. That's like a whole job right there. Yeah. So now I dive every time I see seagulls because I want that gold. But it's just so fun, and the stuff we did with like the cannon launching, and
not just that, but I mean at the very end when I had to go and we're going, yeah, where's our ship? And there it is, sailing off into the horizon. Yeah, another crew.
I took it. I forgot who was on board with me, but we left you two behind, and then we made a 360, came back, and then you had.
Oh, so it was gone. It was you and our new friend, the silent one, who played with us in that. You suck asses.
Yep. Well, so we came in tonight because me and Nate and Coop were doing something, and we had our boy Blue with us. It was just a random, but he was cool. And we did a three chapter job and came back, and then Peter came on, so we left so that we could get Peter in. And when we spawned again, when we came in, we were on an outpost like you start, and there's our galleon, our 4-man ship, and over here is a single man sloop. And I'm watching this guy take off from the sloop, and he's running down the beach, and I'm like, where is he going? Then I realize he's making a beeline for our galleon. I'm like, no, you don't. And I'm following him, and I'm running down the dock. I don't think he saw me. So he jumps for the ship, but he misses the rungs, and he falls in the water. But I don't. I leap onto the boat and turn around and dig out the blunderbuss, right? Just wait for him to come out the top of the rung and just blunderbuss his face off right there. Get off my boat. But no, it's fantastic. It's so good. I've been absolutely addicted, and I've ground up all kinds of gold now. I can get some pretty high level jobs. So if anybody wants in, I can get some. We're talking like a starter job might net you 100, 150. I can pull jobs now that are like 600 gold when you complete them. Yeah. So for younger people, I can get you some gold for leveling up or buying a blunderbuss because you want one.
Or an admiral outfit, or
right, yeah. Because now I'm rocking the cool hat and the belt and the fancy coat with the buttons. And man, I'm a sharp dressed man at the helm. And I love being at the helm. I have to admit, I love driving the boat.
Well, and I tell you, when you have a crew that's got everything in line, like the guy that joined us, unfortunately Nate got on late, so we had to leave him and Super Cooper behind for a little bit. But the guy that joined us, but this is also something that I think can make the mark of a good game if people will play along correctly. The guy who joined us actually turned out to be not only really helpful, but really into it. Yeah. And really, and it was nice to have somebody who was helping out with the sails and, getting the water out of the boat when we hit something, when Juan hit something.
Yeah. Like a glove, baby.
Yeah. Nothing a plank can't fix.
Right.
Right. But it was really cool because he was actually playing with us, and that was, No,
I think it's going to have a great community, and people who aren't great, you get one of those on your team, you just throw them into the brig until they either just stay there or decide to leave.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and I've learned there's all these little things about it that I've picked up along the way. Like tonight, we were doing a riddle where instead of getting a treasure map with an X, you get a sheet with these lines on, and the first one is the only one that's visible. It'll tell you what island you go to. When you get there, it'll say, find this landmark and do this thing. Usually they end with finding a landmark and then turning a direction and taking 6 paces, right? But how do you know paces in a first-person game, right? You pull out your compass and you focus on it with the right trigger, and every step you take rumbles the trigger. And it changes the animation for people who are watching, too. You see like a measured pace that he takes. So you can count out the 6 and then dig right there and there's treasure. It's so great. Or little stuff like when you're centering, if you're steering the boat and you're going past center point on the keel, it gives you a rumble on the trigger and an audio sound effect, so you can kind of keep a tab on where the thing is pointed. Can't say enough about this game. It's going to be huge, I think. Not necessarily even like sales, but just it's going to be awesome. This is just the beginning. Like, this is just the kind of basic questing thing. When they start talking about they keep talking about being a pirate legend, I'm pretty sure there's going to be like player recognition in the game. I'm pretty sure if you do certain things or do certain quests, you're going to see like your name somewhere in the game. And it's so pretty. Like when the sunset and sunrise, particularly.
The water.
Yeah. All the water and stuff, and
the water's amazing.
The spray and stuff.
Yeah, it's right now completely my addiction until this play session is over. Even like I got into PUBg, that landed, and it's good. I like it. It's rough. It's nasty. It's funky. It's got some issues, but it's still amazing. I don't think there's a whole lot that really gives the same experience. I mean, Fortnite, there's a lot of things that are doing the battle royale thing now, but Fortnite adds the whole like building thing. Like I see videos of people building ramps and riding bullets to each other, whatever. No, PUBg doesn't do any of that garbage, and that's fine. It doesn't need it. It's so tense every time you drop in. and you're looking for a weapon. Here's a guy, and it's something. It'll be pretty. It's what already a million players 48 hours in is nuts. That's crazy talk.
But we knew that was going to happen. Come on.
Still nuts, though.
It is nuts.
Still insane.
Yeah, definitely.
Even my wife liked it.
To free.
Like I got chastised because she was gonna nap, and I went upstairs and I was playing on the S, or not S, but the Forza 6 edition, the original Xbox, just to kind of see, because there were some people. There's a video circulating where somebody, cherry picked and edited a whole bunch of gameplay to get every flaw they could and cram it and do like a 10-minute video or whatever. And it's the headwind again. Just people out there just feel a need to exacerbate and exaggerate and whatever. In hours of play on the original X, I had only a couple of times those issues crop up. So you get people like Altano piping off on Twitter about his first 3 rounds were all crashes or this and that. I doubt it.
I've not had one crash.
There's millions of people not having that trouble. I don't believe this guy on Twitter is just like, oh yeah, these 3 bad things happen. They happen to be the same thing that happened in this edited video. So, whatever.
I mean, anything is possible, but it could be like, bad hard drive, file corruption.
He was talking about
something
on the X. And I'm like, no, I don't believe it.
Yeah, even on the X, you have it on a portable drive. Like I remember playing the Division. And even after X amount of patches, it's like, I was still falling through the world, and I was like, corrupted files and I had a bad hard drive, and after I fixed that, I never had those issues again. So who knows?
No, it's true. I'm not gonna say it's completely impossible. I just don't believe it because someone's like, well, why would he make it up? I'm like, I just took a screenshot of his, 200 retweets and 3,000 likes. Like, this is why right here. This is why I see that. Because it's the popular thing to hate on Xbox. It's a profitable thing to be negative about Xbox. So, whatever. But sidetracked, PUBg is awesome. My wife liked it so much that when she took a nap and I went and played it without waking her, I got chided for it. What? You played it without me? So, because she likes to watch that one be played. That it's great. Sea of Thieves I like even better. I mean, both of these games have me not playing Forza, which is
man. Someone needs to call Dan.
I know. No, I've been popping in for the Forza-thon. I think another one is starting soon, and stuff like that. Get my specialty dealer cars and all that on the timed deals. Been doing some races too, but that'll be there. That's not going away like the preview play on Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will play Sea of Thieves with anybody. 2-man ship, 4-man ship, whatever.
I just want to do some more drunk music. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, or playing on the water.
Or playing on but the drunken
is so hilarious.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
We were drinking and puking. And then we filled up buckets.
Stop.
Right.
Stop.
And then you can take those buckets and stick them in your inventory. And you walk around. Oh. And you just throw it on an unexpected...
You could throw it on someone's in a fight to obscure their view.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's just hilarious.
Did not need to know that.
Or just keep it handy if you need to put someone in the brig, and then everybody just stand on the brig and throw buckets of vomit.
That's why Peter took off with the ship. We put him in the brig. That's why he did
it.
It was just for test.
For a test. Let's see what happens. All right.
No problem.
Can you let me out?
Right. Let's go out and take the ship.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So that's what I've been playing is those things. Going to start the new, I shouldn't say new, but new to us, the second season of Walking Dead here soon too.
Nice. All right, well, Nate, you've been quiet. What have you been playing?
Well, see, we've been playing more multiplayer games, so I've been playing with everybody here. So actually, I've been doing a little bit of the, Secret 2. I got seasick, and I've been playing a little PUBg. I'm naked. I hear it makes you quieter. I don't know if that's true or not, but and And I've been playing CoD again, the Winter Siege event. And I see that CoD is now our title for this week, so that should be exciting.
Yeah, CoD is cool. Really digging that World War II.
Yeah, I saw my son playing it at a friend's house today. I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. So maybe in a couple of months I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I'll keep an eye out for you if I see any deals.
So last thing about and I had a graphic all up for PUBg, but screw it.
One thing about the preview, like I mentioned it in Twitter, but even the case, it's like a cardboard thing. Like even the case is in preview. It's like what the heck?
It works though.
That's funny.
It works.
It did its job because.
Hey,
like
just real
Juan
quick,
said,
because this has been a point of contention. Does that box say console exclusive on it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Xbox One console exclusive game preview edition.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Maybe that's the
That is the out.
That's the out. That's the out. Game preview edition. Once the game comes out of game preview, it's free to come out on. Okay, all right, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny. I can't escape it. No matter how much I try, people have to argue about something. So the latest argument about PUBg has been the glitching and stuff like that. And I think, I'm sure I'll get a little pushback here, but I understand the game's in preview. We understand the game is in preview. So you have to kind of expect this. This is what happened with Ark. This is what happened with We Happy Few. This is what happened with numerous games that were in preview. They're rough. They're in development. You're actually getting to play the game. You're actually getting to do what only media folks could do the last two generations. Because on the Xbox 360 and on the Xbox and even Dreamcast and N64 and all those GameCube, all of these PS 1, 2, all these things, the only preview discs you ever got that weren't demo discs you got in a magazine was if you were a journalist and you got a preview build of the game to do an actual preview on for your site. So, I know all about that. I've got plenty of them. I still have some. I can't use them because, my Xbox 360 debug kit, the partner net doesn't work on it anymore. So I really can't do anything with it. But, gamers now are getting a chance to do, and Steam's had it for a while. PC gamers, Xbox gamers are getting a chance to do what they've never been able to do before. And that's play a game that's in current development. So you get it at a slightly lower price as kind of a thank you for testing it out. And you get to give feedback on the game to the developer so he can fix whatever bugs are in it.
Right. And I've said forever that perfect example of a game that would have benefited massively from a preview program is No Man's Sky.
Right.
Because not only could they have addressed issues, but, you would have had an idea of what it was.
Yeah, you manage expectations.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And it was full price.
And that's my only issue with this. Is I understand people there are some people that are frustrated with the performance of the game, and I'm fine with that. But you have to know you're in preview. You have to know that's not the final product. Where the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that was the final product. You were getting garbage when you bought it. This is not. That's the problem, and where Microsoft has kind of exacerbated this a little bit is, except for on the box, they really have touted this as their big AAA game of the year. But even that, I posted when it released, and I posted what the Xbox Twitter said. Mentioned the official Xbox Twitter mentioned nothing about it being game preview.
But it certainly didn't say AAA either.
I beg to differ. Hang on,
There's no way it has the letters AAA on it. I don't believe it.
And it said Game of the Year. It said the Game of the Year. I'm gonna look it up while we're talking because I retweeted it as kind of an example of how the messaging on this game kind of didn't help matters for the people that wanted to make an issue out of this. Like I said, we all know this is in preview, and anybody who understands what preview is, and Witty said, Witty's got a good point too. No one's ever tried selling a preview game in retail stores before, so that's a difficult thing to, it's a difficult thing to manage from that perspective.
Just see this as a $30
Demo
pre-order.
There you go.
It's a pre-order instead of $1. It's $30.
Yeah.
Hey, and you get to play it already in an early build.
Yeah, you do.
That's just it. When people were saying, "Well, where's my digital pre-order for this?" I'm like, "It is the pre-order."
Yeah.
Yes, that's.
Well, the thing is, like in the store, you could already pre-order it. Or on Amazon or Best Buy or whatever.
So that you could get the disc and then you could get the code and then do the install. There wouldn't be an advantage to pre-ordering.
No, not really.
Digital version.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it says, play the Game Awards Best Multiplayer Game of 2017. PUBg is now on console, only on Xbox One.
There it is.
But it doesn't say anything about game preview.
It doesn't say it's AAA.
But it doesn't say it's game preview either. So now you've got people that are looking at that, and they think it's a finished game. That's the only issue that I have on their side. Most of us know it's game preview.
A bigger issue with that would be that they're talking. For me, my issue with that message is that the game that was nominated wasn't really the one that they're talking about. The game that was nominated was the PC version of that game.
Well, there's that as well, but the PC version of that game was also in early access. It didn't release officially until
it's a different build as well.
Well, it is a different build, but there's still. I mean, it's still their game of. They're still hanging on to it being Game of the Year multiplayer for 2017. It just, it doesn't. If you're not looking for it, or if you don't know that it's in game preview, you're not going to know it from that particular tweet, and so you're going to run out and grab it.
But who's complaining on Twitter? The ones that you hear and read on Twitter are all people who know about it. It's not like,
Right.
Okay, I'm going to stereotype. The soccer mom that bought that game for her son or daughter, and it's like, oh my goodness. We're in underwear.
Yeah, I doubt highly that 15-year-old Johnny is going to even care.
No.
But
it's
the majority of the noise is coming from people who own neither version of the Xbox. Right. Whatever.
But there are
wherever
some
you
people
buy
who
it,
own
you
it.
can
There
see
are
the box,
some people
the box
who bought
art,
it.
or you can see the description and it says preview. End story.
Yep.
In the end, it's really the buyer's responsibility to be up on what they're buying anyway. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
It is, but it does. Like I said, I think it's what they wanted to do. It's how they, this is a big game. I'm not going to.
It's a high-profile game, or at least on the PC. And now,
I said this last week when we were talking about whether or not it would be a fair game of the year or not. You cannot discount the success that it's had, even in early access. You cannot.
Or its influential nature.
So Microsoft massaged that to make the message fit, to say as much as they could without having to say it was in game preview. That's their right. That's their marketing ability. It's just that plays into some of this. They buy it, people buy it, and then don't understand what game preview is. And game preview, by the way, is new to console. So you got a couple things working against here.
If there's something that I would scold them for, and it's only so much even under their control because of we're actually talking about the developer here, but to have the whole 60 frames per second conversation at all, with it hitting not a lock 30 when it lands. I mean, how does that even happen? Like that's colossally incorrect.
Yeah.
Because now I still think that it may not be locked. It might be more like an arc type situation.
Yeah.
Right. I still think you're going to see more than 30 out of the X, because when I'm looking at it, I don't think it's I don't think it'll be. I don't think it's a good judge of the platform. I don't think it's a good thing to benchmark the system with right now. Of course, that's what every detractor is going to do. It's the only game that counts for benchmarking the Xbox right now.
Yeah.
But again, that's just the noise.
Well, do you think it was a good idea to? Because I don't know if you guys know this, but starting this week, it's packed in with the X. Do you think that's
absolutely.
a good idea?
Yep, because you're talking about a big game that people are talking about. You're talking about already has 1 million people strong going. Yeah, absolutely. Throw it in there. Why not? For the rest of the month, I have no qualms with that whatsoever.
Even if it's not the best game to show off the system with?
Nope, because it's something that is what everyone is screaming that Xbox needs, which is something you can only play on the console on Xbox. If you
better include these stickers too, though.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
that's it. This is worth $29.
My sticker, my sticker only goes to number 9.
Only to number 9.
So that's as low as my sticker goes so far.
Yeah.
Have any of you
I'm still going hungry.
But yeah, no, I think it's the right thing to do. Especially bundle it with it's an S, right? Or is it any Xbox?
No, it's an X.
Just the X. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good
why
move.
not? Yeah. I saw.
I mean, it's a lot of hype for
Well,
I
and
thought-
for a
hyped up console, the X. So
well, they've done well out of the gate with launch, so they need something to push it through the holiday system. I get that. Holiday season.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
So
I don't mind.
I'm not even mad that I bought it, and 2 days later it announced that if it wasn't day one on my X, I'm not that guy.
No, but they are giving. If you
understand.
bought it within 30 days, they are giving you a code if you call support.
Really?
If you bought what within 30 days?
The X. So, like, let's say you bought it yesterday before this thing started, you'd be able to get it.
Interesting.
It's on the official Reddit page.
It is curiously outside of launch.
But if it happens, if
outside
it
of launch.
happens now, or 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, it's what it is. I mean, with our OG Xboxes, now you buy one and you get 6 games with it. I'm exaggerating, but
I don't think you are, actually.
okay.
Yeah, blast from the past.
So I mean, it's like the early adopter always gets nothing.
Of course. They don't. They get but you have to know that.
Yeah.
The early adopter this time got a little green thing on it that said Scorpio.
Yeah, and the stands. We got a free stand.
That's right. Yeah. And a sticker.
And a sticker? Did we?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Has anyone who's played it had any kind of trouble getting, aside from like the people who had server issues, like just not connecting? I mean, I'm not seeing anything like any kind of problem getting people in rooms. Like every time I'm in, it's 99, 98, 100.
Yeah.
I've not had a big issue.
And also, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that this PUBg build is like from May, the PC build from May.
Right.
So it's like, ages ago.
In terms of game dev, yeah.
I mean, in 6 months, a lot can and has happened.
Well, it's like Fable Legends back in the day. I got super heated with IGN's podcast Unlock crew because they were saying that they hadn't played the Fable Legends beta for 6 months and that it was unplayable. I'm like, dude, a lot can change in 6 months. It's pretty.
What about
right now, actually.
Didn't they get help from? Was it the coalition or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when did that start?
Okay, so
did it start like 6 months ago?
I know.
Is it in this build? Is it not in this build?
I might not have said that until the new build came out.
Right.
I might have held that in because now it makes the coalition look bad that this game launched so rough that
yeah.
At least
Well,
until
at
they
least they
hit.
should have communicated, saying like, "Hey,
So why are they using if that's true? I mean, we are talking about June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months. Why are they launching the game with a 7-month-old build? I mean, I
maybe they
I know
couldn't get
enough
the other
about
build
game
out
development.
before the end of. Yeah, but maybe they couldn't
Yeesh.
get the game out before the end of the year, and that's what they promised, and they wanted to deliver.
Yeah, I don't know.
With the launch window they had, I don't think you'd want to delay it.
No,
Yeah.
but I don't think you. We're in an era now of such, especially with digital and day one patches and things like that. That a 6 month, 7-month-old a 7-month-old build's a little different than say a 2-month-old build. Like if you get you go to Gamescom and you're playing Crackdown 3 and it's the same build from E3, I get that, but May to December.
Yeah, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know what the coalition did. Maybe they,
So-
ripped it all apart, and they.
So then, when are we going to get a fresh and smoother
know.
build? See, that's the
Now
other piece of it.
that's a good question, Mike.
So, every once in a while, I got one. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm eager awaiting the next build.
So.
Is it going to be, I don't know. Is it when the PC build, when did he promise the desert map? March? February? I forgot.
I don't recall for the Xbox.
I don't remember.
For the Xbox, yeah. So, is that the time we get a new build? Who knows? I don't know.
And did anyone see that IGN video posted a couple days ago?
No.
Is that the one with the expensive copy of PUBg?
Yeah, what the heck?
It's a headwind. It's just a headwind. It's more popular. Like,
Did you click on it, Nate?
I did
No,
not.
I didn't click on it.
Okay,
It's on
you're gonna
Twitter.
get- You're gonna get more
because
clicks.
that's what they want.
You're gonna get more clicks being negative about Xbox and PUBG than you are being positive about it. That's just a fact. It's just more profitable right
Any
now
game
to be
is
negative about Xbox.
expensive if you look at it that way. Any pre-game, not just that game.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy too, because when you look at what the Xbox One actually is hardware-wise and what you pay for it, it's pretty decent. At that $500 price, I don't feel bad about having paid it
And
at
you get
all.
a free game. I mean,
Yeah,
like you said, yeah.
but it's got to be a bad thing.
Man, that free game's expensive.
To who? Especially if it's actually a console exclusive now, that means Microsoft. That means Microsoft
Paid for it.
has paid for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I'm hey look, I'm if Phil backed up the truck for this game, I'm okay with it. I think that's I think it's about time he grabs some of this stuff before he loses all of it. I still think, and this is just my opinion, I still think Cliffy is kicking himself over this Lawbreakers thing. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's been zero new news about Lawbreakers, and that whole we're considering the Xbox version. It's been how many months now? And
Yeah, it's a little too late. I think he might have
Yeah,
burned some bridges with the
Well,
that
potential
and you've
player
got-
base, I think.
That, and you've got right now. I mean, there's a million dudes playing, PUBG. So who's gonna
Yeah.
then go out and
that's
get
what I mean.
Lawbreakers?
That's what I mean. Is that this was there would have been room for both, but I don't think there's room for both now. Plus, don't forget Fortnite. I mean, and Fortnite's free, or at least the battle royale mode is free. So
Yeah.
that's got to
It's
be.
more cartoonish.
It is, but it's I don't know. I still, but it's still the same style game, right?
Yes.
So
But that's one of those things where you could be
Little bit.
like, well, their company got it out faster than Bluehole did.
And that's fair, but
Yeah.
it's also one mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I just think I think Lawbreakers. I think Cliffy's probably looking at this and going, "Well, that was a colossal mistake."
Chasing that user base, chasing that install base.
And it's funny because a lot of places use user base is their method, and it's sometimes it's audience too. You know, one of the things that my guitar player and I look at with our band, I mean, I've got 160 songs in our band repertoire. We could just go into every gig we wanted to and just play every song we wanted to play. You know, and
Sounds like a plan to me.
okay, well, the problem with that is what we want to play might not be what the people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
F 'em.
And so we have to and that's how Cliffy B got to where he is. So
Right.
I mean, but seriously, you play to your audience, and you know, I think the audience was on the Xbox for Lawbreakers. I think.
Well, hey, you know, the audience is one thing, because, you know, I've said this several times on Twitter with Lawbreakers. I don't understand the logic, and I get where they're coming from. I get why the user just said, look at that install base, or maybe even a check, who knows. But when you look at Xbox, by not going on Xbox, they made the decision to ignore a player base that is supposedly renowned for being all about shooters.
Right, dude, bro.
On a system that is, you know, supposedly all about being online.
Dude, bro.
And
you were the guy that created one of their favorite of all time franchises.
And if you made it even just a timed exclusive, it's the player base that's supposedly starving, dying for games, right? And they just don't bring them any. Like, I don't know, if I got some fat cats, I'm selling food. I got some fat cats who are well fed. I got some starving dudes who have money in their fists and want to give it to me. I know where I know what I'm doing. I'm going where the market is. I'm going. I don't know. It just seemed like it's ignoring a lot in some cases to not bring things to Xbox.
I agree. And look, I see it on both sides. You know, Okami HD just came out for PS4 and Xbox. I'm surprised. Sometimes I see people complain about, well, why isn't this game on Xbox? Why isn't this game on Xbox? That's because you guys don't buy the games when they come out. So there are audiences, you know where your audience is, and most Japanese or Eastern style games, I'll take Neo and Nera Automata, or however Jeff Keighley wants to say it, Autonoma or whatever. I know the vocal minority on Twitter is like, these games need to come to Xbox. And I can totally see why they don't, because I guarantee you, no one's going to buy Nier Automata on the Xbox. I'm sorry, they just won't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a game that sells on that platform. Just like Lawbreakers is not a game that sells on the PS4 platform. There are specific, we might like it. We, as the four of us, may be into it. Like I'd play Nier. I have a PS4 to play it on, but I would, if I only had an Xbox, I would. But we've seen time and time again, Square brings Final Fantasy to the Xbox, and it sells half of what it sells on the PS4. They are bringing Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Xbox, and I guarantee the PS4 sales are going to blow it out of the water. They know that, so they're not spending the time to...
They haven't played 1 and 2 yet, though.
And they're not going to get a chance to, because Square knows that they're not going to make any money porting 1 and 2 or 1.8 or whatever the hell decimal number they're at now.
It is. It's the only reason it's 1.8 is because they actually started adding, like, the Vita exclusives. You can now play them in that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's, I feel like there are specific audiences for certain games, and that's why I brought up Lawbreaker, because I just think that did not play to the correct audience.
That's why I bought a PS4.
It's the same mistake it's the same mistake Respawn made. They had a home on Xbox with Titanfall. They had a player base that was behind it, enjoyed it, and they changed it away from that gameplay in a lot of ways, and then took it off, being the primary system for it, And then there was the whole Twitter backup. Not that most of the buyers would be even on that, but there was a whole Twitter stupid thing about blue disc, and I'll never not believe that he wasn't being snarky. I know green disc are a term, but I don't believe for a second that's where he was actually going with it. It's a nice, it's a very convenient cover.
Yeah, Microsoft had the marketing rights to Titanfall 2, so it's not like they lost it completely.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's. Did you see much in the way of marketing for it?
No.
Not like the original, no. But there was.
I'm just saying that they had an exclusive. They had a home for that game. They had an exclusive home on Xbox, and exclusives do get bought. I think they would have done better to not. I mean, obviously, they sold less taking it to multiplat than they did the exclusive on Xbox. So tons of Xbox guys had to walk away from it. Had to. That's the only way the math works.
It's true, yeah.
Well, it also launched against Call of Duty and Battlefront.
And Battlefield. Yeah, exactly.
Battlefield. You're right. So I mean, it launched because remember too, Titanfall 1 launched in March, April.
Yeah.
And this one launched in the middle of the worst time. I guess what we like to call Sunset Overdrive season. It just launches. It just launched at the wrong time. You know, I don't know if I think a lot of people that were upset over that still bought it because it still turned out like the single player still turned out to be an incredible single player. I don't play the multiplayer at all, but the campaign.
See, that's where my problem lies. The first one didn't feel like a multiplayer game.
The what?
I mean, it was multiplayer, but it didn't feel like a first-person shooter. It gave you more options.
Yeah,
but now the second one is totally. If you're not good at first-person shooters, you will not do good at that game compared to the first one.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think what they did was they turned it into an actual Call of Duty with mechs.
Yep.
Well, in my opinion, they totally shafted the balance between pilots and Titans. That was and the level design wasn't as good.
No, the level design was not as good.
It was not tailored like it needs to be to make people on foot and Titans equally valuable on the same map. Yeah. So, I mean, there were all kinds of technical flaws with it. This campaign was great. F the multiplayer in that game. And like I said, I think they just screwed up. And they would have brought that campaign straight to just Xbox. They would have done better with it.
Yep. Before they fixed the problem, I tried to play it, but you couldn't even get a Titan unless you were good at the game.
Oh, yeah, the original, with the first test release, Titans were thin on the ground.
And it's just like, that is what your game is known for. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Yep. But we've covered the foibles of that game before, but I still think that it would have done better just as an Xbox game. It would have sold more.
I think it's more.
Or at least the same, but then your dev cost will probably be less because you're only on one platform.
More than it did as a multiplayer. I don't know if it would have sold more than Titanfall, but more than it did in and of itself. Competing with itself as a multi-platform.
I think the changes hurt it more, but that's it's
probably multiple factors.
Yeah. EA was not going to do that twice. They just weren't. They're certain.
I still think they sabotaged it, so they could snag them up. Respawn, that is.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't make a play for Respawn when they had a chance. When Respawn got bought by EA completely, I'm like, are you kidding me? What do you right after Phil Spencer is really funny because once again it's like there's a blockage of some sort. I don't know what it is. Phil Spencer comes out and says we're going to rebuild our first party studios even if we have to go buy them, and then Respawn gets bought by EA and you're like, it missed it by that much. It's crazy. So anyway, we got way off the beaten path from PUBg. No. All right. So let's move on. and I do actually have a picture here. So as usual, I don't give a rat's behind about hardware sales for NPD. Anybody who wants to get into the middle of that battle is welcome to go. To go onto Twitter. The bottom line with the hardware this month was everybody did what they had to do. The PS4 sold the most units. Microsoft made the most money. If somebody has to figure out a winner out of that to make yourself feel good, have at it. Not going to happen.
I think it was
not going to happen on this show.
If you're a shareholder, you want more money.
Right. I'm telling you,
somebody's
waiting for a plaque.
Sold, so.
Somebody's waiting for their trophy plaque to arrive.
Yeah.
So, So software, I love to talk about though.
Well, before we hit that real quick,
finally taking Grand Theft Auto out of the top 10.
All right, go ahead, Juan.
I was going to say, a writer that I am a fan of, Jeff Grubb, had the take on it, or from over at GamesBeat there, had the take on it that essentially hardware is up across the board. Everybody's benefiting from it. That's what's the take from hardware sales.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and Yorgi, yes, I get it. Phil worked for somebody else. Now he's got his own. Now he reports to the head. But he still has to learn how to say things either timely or not say certain things. That's all I'm saying. He's just
what I should have said was
right. The old Mike Birbiglia. What I should have said was nothing, but it just So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we do get the chance to look at software sales, as I love to do. Because I do like to see trends, and I do like to see what's going on, and how in the world anybody ever expects that anything is going to knock Call of Duty off of the top spot ever in the month of November.
But this one is so deserved, though, because this one is very good, in my opinion.
Was it number 1 last November, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one wasn't as good, though. I mean, the campaign was good, but...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's Call of Duty, and that's we're at this point in life where it doesn't matter. It's Call of Duty.
True.
And therefore it is going to be the game of the month for that month. So, and of course, it's not only the number 1 game of November, it's the number 1 game of the year,
right?
In just that short time,
all because of Boots on the Ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I'm sorry, my wife made me watch a lot of Idol coming up, so I think Boots on the Ground. Boots on the ground. You feel like a fool with your boots on the ground. People may know what that. It's a bad reference. I apologize.
Ooh, sorry. Well, this is the way life. This is the way life goes sometimes, and this is why you don't drop a Titanfall in the middle of, 2 big games and expect it to do anywhere.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty is number 1. Star Wars Battlefront 2, which may be more of an indication of how the month went overall. Star Wars Battlefront 2 still kicked in with a number 2 spot, even though I believe we saw the estimates sitting somewhere around 800,000 sold. Is what I think we saw.
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
I don't know.
So still kicked in that number 2 spot. Number 3.
I'm a little bit surprised on one hand, and the other hand not, because it's Star Wars.
Well, yeah, and there's a big.
But on the other hand, it's like there was so many people were like, "Oh, I'm not going to buy it because of the whole loot crate jazz and this and that."
Yeah, but again,
well, it's the same old boycott nonsense. Forever games. Oh, we're going to boycott this, and then
they've been saying that Call of Duty. We're going to boycott that.
15-year-old Johnny doesn't care about loot crates. That's just it. Mommy buys him the game, and Daddy will pay the credit card bills.
Yep. There you go.
Yep. Just a reminder, folks. you can lock your consoles. There is no excuse. Anybody who makes because we've heard this. Anybody who makes the old excuse that, well, loot crates are gambling and my kid can end up spending thousands of dollars on loot crates. No, they really can't, because you have the power to lock your kids out of buying anything. My kids can't buy anything on either one of the Xboxes in the house or the PS4 without my. On the Xboxes, I have to put a code in, a 6-digit key of some combination of joystick moves. So my kids can't buy a damn thing without my say so. So and that includes loot crates, that includes DLC, that includes episodes of Minecraft story mode. It just doesn't. You can protect yourself, as a public service announcement from Next Level Gaming. So anyhow, yeah, I mean, now, did anybody here get Battlefront 2, or are we still waiting for
access?
The Vault, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't buy it. Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many other great games out there, so to me, it was a smart decision just to wait for it to appear in the Vault and buy some other games.
I prefer my first-person shooters to be muskets and blunderbusses.
Yeah. And seagulls.
Yeah, I still like Star Wars. I'm intrigued by the space combat.
For me, I don't know if it's not a new TIE fighter. I'm okay. You bring me a new TIE fighter, bring me a new X-wing. That's what those models should be used for.
I want. Oh my gosh.
Right. I hear the campaign is good though. Like Cooper says, that's I've heard that repeatedly.
Well,
but that's access fodder right there.
Yeah, no doubt. For me, it is anyway. So, unless they come out with a VR mode, and then I might have to jump. See, this is gonna be an interesting thing with EA, because if they have games that have a good VR mode on them, I gotta make a decision. I mean, that's gonna be tough, and that's gonna be tough going forward with multi-plat games overall. Am I going to be able to play any of them on VR? And I talked about Trackmania at the beginning, Peter. I'm highly considering double dipping.
Yeah.
So, highly considering. I mean, that's how good it was.
I'm kind of too cheap to double dip.
I know, but did you play the demo?
No.
Okay, when we are done, which we will be shortly because we're almost out of topics. When we are done, go plug your headset in and go download the Trackmania VR demo. Trust me on this. I'm looking right at you. Trust. Look at my eyes. Trust me. Trust me. Because you know how much I like Trackmania.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that game too.
Trust.
Great.
Trust in Stinger on this. The PSVR for Trackmania is flippin' sublime. And there's only 4 tracks in the demo, but oh my god!
Oh, okay.
The first time I played it, I swear, I got motion sickness in that way of I felt like I was in a car, like I felt like I was moving. Remember how I was telling you guys about the Transformers the movie ride that I did at Universal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like that. Like, my body felt like I was moving.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
I think that, I'm hoping that in the future, if something like this were to come to Xbox, that they would do something like that with the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be bomb.
Now, I would take a Forza-style game like that. So, okay. So, onward. Sorry. Yeah, the PSVR is that good. I can't help it. Assassin's Creed Origins pulls into that third spot. This is interesting. NBA and Madden pull into the fourth and fifth spot, and Mario drops to sixth. And that is without, of course, digital sales. So, take that with a grain of salt. But drops into the sixth spot. FIFA, Need for Speed, Destiny 2 kind of creeps back in to the top 10 where it wasn't for a while. And then Pokemon Ultra Sun. So there's your top 10. Only one, two, I guess you can call Pokemon Ultra Sun an exclusive. Only 2 exclusive games in the top 10. Everything else is multiplat.
Yeah.
No. And,
Which is actually not unusual, I don't believe.
It's not, but I'm making a point. What is interesting to me is the amount of sports games that have popped in, especially Madden, being as we are at the tail end of a season.
Is it because it was on sale?
Was it?
Yeah, it was like $19.99.
Well,
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
And it is X enhanced.
Right.
So there's your top 10. Then rounding out the back 9, as you would say in golf, the back 10 here, Pokemon, Ultra Moon. So I guess those are both 3DS games or DS games. Not sure. Middle Earth: Shadow of War, Grand Theft Auto 5, which is still kicking.
Still in the top 20. It's like, who doesn't have that game? It's like people losing their copies. What's going on?
It might be the different versions too for like people who want to get Chivos twice, whatever. But there's that. I expect that might even take a bounce up in the next little bit here because of the epic.
Yeah, the epic heist. Yeah.
I look at it. I'm like, it's online. I can't support any more GTA 5 online. I can't. I won't.
Yeah, but
it's fun with friends.
Did you see the new stuff coming? Like, they are still pumping content like crazy.
Yeah. Like for the online, yeah, but F the online. Give me some single player DLC that the old games had.
Yeah. Oh wait, the Lost in the Amp, that was so good.
I'm telling you, and
those days are done. I know.
Rockstar is making. Look, if you turn on the TV, there are TV ads for the new online expansion. They're basically saying F offline. Mm-hmm. That's where they.
Oh yeah, it's totally games as a service. They absolutely led the charge with the games as a service thing with this game, with GTA 5.
People should be afraid of Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'm actually I completely expect Red Dead to have to not be Red Dead. Well, it'll be Red Dead, but it's not going to be like it was with the single player expansions that were great. No, just forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have single player, but I'm afraid it's going to be short.
Single player as a service. It's coming.
Single player as a service.
It's coming. Anyway, The Sims 4 kicks in, which is good. Jeff Keighley Game of the Year, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Should we mark?
Or I heard Breath of the Wild mentioned too.
So we actually got. I want to bring this up because I thought this was funny. We got some feedback on last week's podcast from. I'm pulling it up now. We got a little feedback on our thoughts of the of Game of the Year, of Jeff Keighley's Game of the Year, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. From new listener or new watcher Chariot Goblin, who said, "No love for Zelda. That's lots of salt." Is what he said. And so Juan and I replied, I replied that buying the game and enjoying the game, which Peter, Juan, and Frankie did, and thinking it's Game of the Year material are two different things. His response was, "I just can't believe that people say that Breath of the Wild didn't live up to what it promised. It broke the conventions of Zelda, and is the first open-world sandbox-style game I know of that has climbing." So, Juan and Peter, I will leave that to you.
Okay, well, I don't know about broken promises because I didn't. That's not a statement I would say about it because I didn't pay a lot of attention to what it promised. Right, as far as breaking the conventions of Zelda, but why? They're so good. When I look at the best Zelda, which is Link to the Past, you had a fantastic linear experience with progression that made sense. You can't go anymore. You guys, I can't get past this area. Okay, well now I'll look over here and look, I can do this thing and get this item that will allow me to lift this boulder and move on. And there's no hand holding. The level designs were unique. And in Breath of the Wild, what I get is samey single puzzle dungeons, the shrines. I get samey 4 big dungeons, which are there's some difference, obviously, how the puzzles work and the beasts move, but it's pretty much similar. You go around inside the beast, you clear the Ganon eyeball things, and you manipulate the thing to open your path. It's not bad. It's good, but I think that game could have been just as good not as a Zelda franchise. I think if it was some other new IP, those mechanics would be just as good without breaking Zelda conventions. But why break Zelda conventions? I get why, though. There hadn't been a Zelda game in a while, and it was a good thing to sell the system with because people wanted their Zelda game. To me, it's hard to call it the game of the year because it's not the best Zelda, and it's not even the best Switch game this year. That would be Mario Kart 8D. No, actually, it's probably Odyssey. So it's a great game. I can say these things knowing that it's a great game, and I did enjoy it. But it's and I've said this on previous episodes too. Both it and Odyssey are actually both overrated. They're great and overrated at the same time.
All right. Peter, you've played Zelda.
I think the first Zelda that I played, and it's a good game. And so was Final Fantasy 15, also a good game. But to me, game of the year, it's for games that I have a tremendous amount of fun. Right. And that's how we end up with Ghost Recon Wildlands, because that game had, gave me the most fun and fantastic moments, and the game was good. And
I will hold that thought because when we come back after the holiday break, and our buddies from WFC are on, that's when we're gonna talk about our games of the year. So we're gonna have our Super Game of the Year show. First Sunday in January. So hold on to that thought.
All right, will do.
So, okay. So I wanted to get his comment in because it wasn't a mean comment. He was taking us on, and we tell people all the time to make those comments, make those send us our just be respectful, be constructive, and we'll address them if we can. So I just wanted to make sure that he got his moment, and we addressed it, and he is welcome to. I would love to have him come into the chat room and he can hang out with us. So
yep, absolutely.
Anyhow, all right. So rounding out, Mario Kart 8, your one of your GOTY there, Juan, is right next to it.
Quality game.
Yep. Wolfenstein 2, which is one of my Game of the Year candidates. South Park Fractured But Whole, which I still want to get. I'm actually hearing really good things about it, and I am hearing if you enjoyed Stick of Truth, which I did finally beat, that while the game is not quite as good as Stick of Truth, it is still really up there with it. So that's on my list once I get through my backlog. WWE 2K18 still hanging strong, and Just Dance 2018. I don't know where in the world that came from. That kind of came out of nowhere.
I still don't know how you do that without a Connect, but
I don't know. I don't. I don't know. So, Nathan, what are you watching, man? You're just like Poltergeist over there on your.
Oh, I'm not watching anything. I'm just sitting here reading the chat.
Oh.
And the chat is lit. So
the chat is lit. Chat is lit tonight, and we've got a couple of new people. I think I saw in there, and in fact, one of them was very complimentary to us and thinks we should have more subs and more viewers. And man, that makes us feel really good.
Yeah, we did that.
Makes us feel like makes us feel.
Tell other people though.
Yes,
we know this.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
We show up every week.
Right.
Yes, we're here. Come hang with us. Come play with us on Sunday nights. So, I love our folks. I can never say enough about our friends and our supporters. Can never say enough about them. How much we love them. Okay. Now, time to switch gears. Get to our last bit, which is always a good one. And actually, this week is very well timed. Let's kick over. And let me find... Oh. Where is it? There it is. As always, one of my favorite segments of the show. I went back to an old version. I just haven't had it updated yet.
Right.
I'm up for ideas on how to make this better.
I'll give it some thought.
I'm not, this is about as creative as I get.
Always served me well with that.
This has to be part of it, though, no matter what.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's never going away. All right. So as I said, this one is well timed, considering that last month saw the release of 2 very good racing games.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going back to one of the originals.
The OG.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, a big fan of this one back in the day. But kick it off whenever you're ready there.
All right, here we go.
We're talking about, of course, Gran Turismo on the original PlayStation. In North America, that's circa 1998, 1 year previous to that in Japan. It was developed by Polyphony Digital, although actually it was released the year before as Polis Entertainment when they released the Japanese version of GT in 1997. It was in 1998 after that they changed over to being Polyphony Digital there. Of course, that developer is best known for the Gran Turismo series. They developed also previous to that the Motor Toon Grand Prix series and its sequel as Polis Entertainment in 94 and 96. Also in, I think it was 2006, they tried Tourist Trophy, which was an attempt to give, at motorcycle racing, to give it the GT treatment. In 2012, IGN placed Polyphony Digital at 24th of the greatest 50 devs of all time. And it's, it's evident. They are one of the masters of their trade. It was published by Sony Computer Entertainment, which was founded in 1993 and restructured with Sony Network Entertainment into Sony Interactive Entertainment in 2016. They handled research and development, production and sales of both hardware and software for the PlayStation brand, also a developer and publisher of video game titles. As of September 2016, the company had sold more than 486 million PlayStation consoles overall, all across the different brands, including the handhelds. So the gameplay for this is a single and multiplayer racing game. And so, basic racing game concepts, you have a car, maneuver, win, race, beat AI players, and or regular players in multiplayer. The arcade mode is a single and multiplayer game, and also has a memory card battle system, which is kind of like Forza's rival mode, like an early version of that. You would sync your time to a memory card and then load another one, because the system did not have internet connectivity. In arcade mode, players can freely choose tracks and cars, and winning unlocks more tracks and cars to run. The primary mode, though, is simulation mode. In this mode, players start with a small amount of credits and can participate only in limited events. You can take license tests to qualify and open up various events and championships. 3 tests exist. There's a B class, an A class license, and an international A class license. And each of the tests consists of a battery of small challenges, like this one here, which is a start and stop challenge. You accelerate and then come to a stop at the 1,000-meter mark within a certain time frame. So you have to start your stop early enough to not take too long. In simulation mode, players start with 10,000 credits and can choose from a number of cars that are available at that price to purchase for it. And you kind of get a choice to either purchase a car with all of the money, or try to aim a little lower and then put parts into it to get started. And there's a whole bunch of strategies out there about which one is the best one to pick over the years that have developed. But I always liked the Toyota Supra, the Mark III Supra. It's right towards the edge of what you can spend, but it's good enough out of the box that you can basically just do. You don't have to pull out a lot of money to be competitive right out of the box and make some money. Credits that you earn can be spent on various parts and tunes and upgrades for the cars, which improve your performance and give you the ability to tune settings like the stiffness of your suspension or the compound of the tire that you're racing on, which affects gameplay. And that was pretty high-speed low drag for the day. This is one of the original simulation racers on console, and sim, kind of gets a quotation mark. But it was pretty solid sim for the day, particularly in the console world. So it was very popular for that reason. It was touted as the real driving simulator, and it was just something that was unique in its day. The cars would even get dirty, so you could purchase car washes to restore their luster. But here we are buying my beloved Super Turbo. I think I usually go with the black one though, because who wants to rock a white car? But and then you can put parts on it. You can tune it up. Basically, the end goal is to increase your level, increase your skills, and win out all of the cups to open up the GT World Cup, which when you finish that championship, it triggers the credits video, and also opens up a couple of demonstration tracks where the game actually runs at a higher resolution, an enhanced display mode. So that's kind of cool. One thing that I really liked about this game compared to some of them at the time too is it had a fully fledged qualifying mode. So when and I wish they would bring that to Forza. I want to say Forza used to have it, early Forza, but it kind of went the way of the dodo in.
I think Sega GT did. I think Sega GT did.
Yeah, I believe it did too. Yeah, I think so. But I like that feature. I like running for a time, and then you get a bonus for your qualifying time if you land on the pole. And I think it's just kind of a nice thing. I'd like to see that return to Forza as well. So hopefully that'll happen someday. But it was an interesting thing to go back and play this for the clips and be, oh yeah, qualifying, right, and do that. But yeah, basically it was really impressive for its day. If you discount race driving and hard driving, it was one of the first attempts at console simulation. Race driving and hard driving came before it, but with the hardware at the time, the experience was low frame rate and fidelity, low poly. So I would consider this maybe the first successful attempt at marketing sim racing on a console. In development, it spent 5 years in development. The producer, Kazunori Yamauchi, stated times that he had a team of between 7 and 15 people. They spent so much time working on it in those years that they often spent the night at work. I felt that the sound design was compromised due to the lack of time for it. to put in, but also he felt that the game's artificial intelligence was superior to its competitors, and that's a pretty fair thing for the day. I think that's probably not inaccurate. He also estimated the game used just 75% of the PlayStation's capability. And could you imagine if that was announced today? Like, lazy devs, burn them! You know, could only use 75% of my console? I'm never buying anything from them, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah, it's an interesting little fact right there. But the game was met with a wide critical acclaim. A 9.33 score from EGM, 9.5 from IGN, 8.6 from GameSpot. I think it's listed on Metacritic as a 96, which may still be the highest rated racing game ever. 2001 Game Informer ranked as the 21st best video game ever made. Best driving game and best graphics of 1999, according to the PlayStation official magazine. Game Informer, when they ranked it 21st, they stated that the racing genre had not before offered as complete a package as this game did. By 2008, 10 years after release, it had sold more than 10.8 million copies, and is to date the best-selling game on the original PlayStation, which probably won't be superseded at this point, but that's pretty impressive, especially back in those days. I picked it up on the secondhand at a local secondhand reseller album shop for $7, and so if you're building a PlayStation collection, I mean, it's just got to be in there, especially if you can get a hold of it for, like, you know, that kind of money. Checked online, eBay, you can find them pretty easy for less than $10, and you know, playing it, it still feels pretty good. I mean, obviously you have to be cognizant of how old it is, and that my controller is kind of a hand-me-down right now. I don't have the DualShock, so I'm not using analogs for steering, but it still played really well. So, you know, big fan of the game. Played through the hell out of this back in the day, and its sequel. The sequel actually had more flaws. I think it was kind of an unfinishable progression bug that it had, but this game, you know, it's there's a reason it spawned 10 sequels? There's 10 games in the series, and so yeah, I'm a big fan of the original, and so therefore I just had to make it this week's retro recommendation, last one for the year there, and I think it was the third one on our PlayStation, but yeah, totally worthwhile. And I think on the video I just had to squeeze in that car wash. But yeah, if you're getting the if you're building a PlayStation collection and this isn't in your list of games to get for it, that's just wrong.
Nicely done.
I appreciate it. That's I'll probably actually go back and mess with it some more. It was that intriguing to me. I wouldn't mind having a save file with and then that would be even before I went back and did PGR. I love PGR, but I think I would actually go back and play through this first, just for the nostalgia value on it. Build those old rides that I built back in the day.
And
That's
see,
cool.
back in that day, I played Sega GT because it was on the Xbox, and the Gran Turismo came out and just kind of blew it out of the water. So it was a great series for me for a while, and then of course Forza came along. You know, and look, there's a very good, you know, kind of there's a good split in feature set between Sport and Forza 7 now that people are, you know, there's what while I was checking out GT Sport, and I noticed it here too in the beginning of this video, the presentation of the game is always phenomenal in GT. Like, their production value for the opening.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I watched it just because it was so cool. I felt like I was watching like an auto racing channel, and I was getting ready to watch a big race. And the music that they used.
Yeah, I was gonna say the music in GT was really solid for Sega.
Oh my goodness.
It's legit a Hall of Fame game. I mean, I'm a Forza guy through and through, but there's just no denying that its inroads are made by this game on console. It's just a fantastic game.
No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, you look at it and visually, I mean, it was mind blowing in the day, and now it's visually it doesn't hold up. I mean, I think 2D and sprite work will always hold up better to me than early polygon and 3D.
Of course.
But still, it's good.
Yeah. Now, Peter, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because you have GT Sport.
Yes.
Just that intro. The intro alone is...
Yeah.
What's the music that it's like a Mozart piece that they play. Oh, man.
It's been so long that I almost don't remember. But the funny story about it, like, it was an OG game, right? And so I played that, and I never finished it. It was like one race I had to do. And I forgot what kind of car it was. It might have been a Jaguar. And I couldn't finish that race. And then I got the 360, and that game became backwards compatible. So I was able to finish that last race on the 360 with a
nice
better controller, and did it. And I don't know, didn't seem to be that hard.
Yeah.
That I did it, so that was cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, I'm looking online. I don't see what the opening. I could look. I can see it. I can watch it. I just can't think of what the actual song is. Oh, hang on. Here we go. There's a Wikipedia, but it doesn't have sport in it. Music of the Gran Turismo series, but it does not show sport. Darn it. Oh well. Throw it in the comments if you guys know what the classical piece of music is that plays during the intro, because it really does hook you in. It really does. It just, there's something about it that just grabs you, and then the presentation of the video and stuff. And it reminded me of that while I was watching this one. So, anyway, well done as always, Juan.
Well, yeah, much appreciated. I'm glad I was able to wrap it up on a high note there. Looking forward to figuring out what I'm going to do next with it. And I think I'm going to have to do a Twitter poll. I can't decide on which of the retro systems I want to do a game for next for like an actual Let's Play. So I'm going to put that up for a poll.
Okay.
Sweet.
Oh, and as we get closer, or come. I mean, this is way too early to really be announcing, but other side of first of the year, we're halfway through this month. Come first of the year, I'm looking to get back into doing the Forza race nights, and when it's a thing, we definitely need to have some NLG Sea of Thieves nights.
Yes.
Because even if we just did like one, a big party and stayed in party chat, we could have a pair of galleons moving around with 8 players as a team. And,
yeah, we do that. So you do that in party chat, and then you can really, you'd be okay doing that if you did 2 teams of 4.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can end up on the same server. That'd be sweet.
Ooh,
that would be the risk.
That would be the risk. That's a good point.
I mean,
but that's a good point.
But even if we're on the same, even if we're all in the same party, and just for the social aspect of it, and we're all man our own ships, even if we're on different servers, I think that could still be a good time.
Yeah.
Oh no,
yeah, obviously.
It'd be.
I might get a little hectic if either one of the ships runs into the.
AKA witty, but that's.
Got to answer a question in chat here.
Yeah. So Yorgi brings up a retro video of the greatest racer ever with the greatest soundtrack ever, Outrun. Is that what you're? Is that what you were? Okay. So Yorgi, if you want to get a little bit of Outrun talk, I suggest you check out JD's Play and Listen podcast from, when did I do that? 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. We discussed the great music of Sega, JD and I, and believe me, Magical Sound Shower was the second song, and I gave JD some great insight into the music of Outrun. And I am with you, man. That is one of my top soundtracks for for an arcade game between. Go ahead.
It's very good. It's really good. You know, for me though, for that style of thing, I still rock the Top Gear soundtrack above all. Top Gear on the Super NES it's just an awesome soundtrack. It's not long. That whole OST is like 6-7 tracks, but it's perfect. It's just perfect.
That was a good soundtrack. For me, there was just something always about there were 2 songs out of the Outrun soundtrack. It was Magical Sound Shower and it was Passing Breeze.
Passing Breeze,
like Magical Sound Shower, I would actually crank the windows down in the car in the springtime or in the early summer when it wasn't too hot and crank that music up and just drive down. Like going home from work, I have back roads that I can take that are just beautiful and wooded and all that stuff, and I would just pretend I'm in the game. And if I, the power of the great thing is if you do a search for video game music, there is a place you can go to get this stuff. And given that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, as well as the 360, if you still rock that, does custom soundtracks via the Groove Player or the PS4 Media Player, you can put these into your racing games or your action games or whatever you want. So,
yep.
Just saying. So.
Yeah, no, I think it was Passing Breeze. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, Passing Breeze was the one that I had in my pick list a couple weeks back.
No, it was a good. Yeah, that's the and there's a couple of really nice remixes of it too. And you can find, like I said, just video game music. If you do a Google search for it, about the 3rd or 4th option down is a place where you can download stuff like this. And they rip stuff off the cartridges and everything. I don't know how people do this. I guess they just record it from, they play the cartridge and just record it onto something. But it's phenomenal.
Yep,
and I love that stuff. So I collect this stuff so much. So, all right, boys, we have come to the end of our final show of the year.
Well, that's a year.
And we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it under 2 hours.
That's cool. That means I can get half on my ship before bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
On top of all that, in fact,
I just wanted to point out that while we were on the show, Short Pause posted theirs, and it's 3 hours. So next time Frankie complains about 3 hours,
yeah, I'm still gonna have his back though. I can't do it.
Yeah. even though it doesn't affect Juan as much anymore.
Well, not soon. Today was the last Sunday I worked for the foreseeable future, unless they give me OT.
Huh.
But yeah, this is the last Sunday I'm scheduled for the foreseeable future, and also the start of the last week with a 5:30 wake up time.
Look, I'm fine. I'm fine with a slim down.
Oh yeah, I am too.
So
I think it's easier for the audience too, honestly.
I'm sure. Now, I'm warning you guys. The Game of the Year show with WFC might go a little longer.
So just more to talk about and more voices.
Yeah, just be prepared. But no, I'm okay with a 90 to 120 minute sweet spot. I'm actually okay with it, because then we can go, and for those of us who do stay up a little while longer, we can go and play some games. So yep. I think I'm gonna go plug that VR headset in and get a little sick. So I want to find that Moss demo. And
make sure you bring your bucket.
So now the Battlefront VR thing, is that a demo, or is that do I have to own Battlefront for that, Peter?
I don't know.
All right. All right. I'll find out. So, all right. Anything else before we roll?
I know I'm forgetting something, but yeah, not really, I guess.
I don't think there was much else going on.
Oh, Nate, we forgot to tell about the Ghost Recon.
Oh,
Predator.
Oh, yeah, the Predator,
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Nate. Well, tell us about it.
Oh, cool. I get to do it. Oh, I'm on the spot now, so.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you go on other podcasts, and you talk up a storm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we have the best chat room too.
We do.
I'm currently talking in the chat room, as you know. I don't talk on here, but I think that it's pretty amazing what they were able to do. I feel like it was a scene from the movie, and they put it straight into Ghost Recon Wildlands.
All right, so what was it?
It was I don't know. There's this guy called Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he likes to talk about choppas.
And getting to them?
Yeah, and getting to them, exactly. See, you know. But whatever you do, if you're playing Ghost Recon Wildlands trying to kill this predator, do not get in a helicopter, because he immediately kills the person in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Good tip.
It locks on, kaboosh, and you're dead. So, but no, it was fascinating. We played with Rick from Warhorse and his buddy Jeremy.
Good stuff.
So
Yeah.
if anyone needs help doing it, we'll definitely play it again.
And Rick did some 4-on-4 with us the night before that.
Yes, he did. He's been getting around. He said he wants to come back on the show again. He keeps talking about it.
Well, I want him on when I really want him on when Kingdom Come Deliverance launches, because I think for the most part we're all getting it.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. He said, I've been trying to stay away from Stinger because I'm afraid that I'll talk about something that I'm not supposed to talk about.
Well, I understand, and I don't push, but you know, I still have a little bit of journalist at heart. So,
but he's very excited to share it with everybody.
I know he is.
He talks about it, man. It's like, I can't wait.
And
that's what I like.
And he's doing a great job. He was out at PSX.
Those sword fights, man, were awesome.
Yeah, those were funny. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not. You know, I don't know. I don't know if they're awesome, but they were funny.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. I think it's
the
cool
fact that they just had him there.
Yeah, and the fact that people have loved their game so much that I haven't seen that much enthusiasm about a game besides that guy who went off at the Game Awards. But
Joseph, yeah.
There's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it, and Rick is obviously and his team are obviously doing it the right way.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it wasn't medieval times, but having those guys there smacking each other with swords actually was. You're right. That gives a bit of a different level of dedication to your game. So, and look, I mean, Rick believes in that game, and he's got us believing in it. So he's doing his job.
Mm-hmm. So. The best part about the DLC Predator is it's free. Anybody can do it.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
So, if you have the game, definitely hop in.
All right.
And send us an invite.
Yeah.
Maybe Stinger will actually play. That'd be cool.
I'll play it if I get some time this week to jump into some Predator.
Sounds like a plan.
So, all right.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Okay, I'm sorry. Kayla Thompson on Twitter. Kaela Thompson.
Oh, right. The moon.
No, tweets to Moon Pie.
Yes.
Nobody likes Moon Pies. And Moon Pie tweets back, yes, they do. Oh, so sales are booming? Yep. They should call you Moon Pie because nobody likes you. They should call you Kayla, Kayla, because that's how it's supposed to be spelled.
Yeah.
I love
started following Moon Pie after
I'm
the
following
last.
Moon Pie right now.
I started following him after the last tweet I put up that says Wendy says some competition.
Right.
The guy's like talking to him. He goes, "Look, you're sitting here at home on a Saturday night talking to him. So a chocolate marshmallow cake.
Right. Yeah. No, that's killer. I love it.
Yeah, Moon Pie might have a good. I saw that exact Twitter conversation you're talking about too, and that was just hilarious. And the guy, it looks like the guy might have deleted his tweet.
I find it was about, I think Stinger posted about they have competition in Wendy's now.
Yes.
And it's really funny. I just typed in Wendy's, and literally the first two ones that pop up are Moon Pie and Wendy's.
Because Moon Pie also said, somebody said, if you who do you follow? Who do you like to follow that's not yourself? And they said Moon Pie. So,
Oh, that's
But
great.
that was really that guy.
Told me that's how it's supposed to be spelled. I love that kind of
That
stuff.
was hilarious.
Those three, and then Arby's with all the video game love, freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one
Arby's
too.
trying to be relevant again.
Yeah. I love me some Arby's, man.
Yeah,
Too much.
I do too.
I used to love Arby's,
Get
and then
me
they
a roast
changed
beef
something.
max.
They changed something in their sauce that I'm not keen on, but it's all right.
I'm with
and
him,
then
the roast
at
beef
the
max.
end of
That thing is-
the end of that Buddy, it's Saturday night and you're talking to a marshmallow sandwich on the internet. Someone said, "Is Moon Pie single?" Asking for America, and Moon Pie said, "Moon Pies come in singles or boxes of 8 to 12." So,
That's great.
oh my God, that was that. I followed them too. So,
Yep, good
and then
stuff.
somebody else said, "Now the marshmallow is doing the roasting."
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And that's what yeah, he did. He deleted his tweet after someone said that.
He did. So,
That's pretty great.
oh my God. All
I'll
right.
admit, I've never had a moon pie.
You've never had a moon pie? You?
No.
You were.
I don't think I ever had a moon pie either.
Yeah,
so-
but
movie
you're
trivia,
not
that's
from.
fun.
But you're not from around here. Nathan is just too young to have experienced things in his life.
I had Moonstruck chocolate.
Movie trivia, that's what Wild Bill
People
wanted
probably
in
know what
the
that is.
Green Mile.
Oh right, that's all. That's what he wanted. So he. And you
I
remember
should
what
have
he did
known
with
that.
it.
I'm an asshole. I'm not a movie fan, I guess.
And remember what he did with it.
Oh,
Made a mess.
Made a mess
that's-
on somebody. So.
I was thinking.
All right. We've officially hit 2 hours. Let's get out of here. No, we
Yeah.
haven't actually. We hit an hour and 25. I don't know how that happened. It's 11:06.
Well, maybe a later start than we thought.
Could be. So, well, says we started at like 9:15. So, all right, let's get out of here, guys.
Yep.
All
Thanks
right.
for everyone coming by. Thanks for being in the chat.
and of course to the greatest chat room on the internet.
Yep.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us week after week after week after week, and being here talking to each other, talking to us, being good to each other, being gamers. It's been a great year, gentlemen. And we're going to take a couple weeks off because, of course, the next 2 Sundays are respectively Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So who in the hell is going to want a podcast, or who's going to want to listen to us on Christmas Eve?
Maybe the podcast is easier than
I'm not.
People want to listen.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'll have an all Jewish audience. It'll just be
Right.
me. It'll be the next level Hebrews. It'll be all us. It'll be all right.
Next level. Oh my god.
So it'll
Hey,
be me,
Hebrews.
me and my tribe will be
Yeah, the Hebrews,
podcasting.
Yeah.
So, but no, hey guys, this has been a great year, and we'll get a couple weeks rest, and then we got a busy January ahead of us.
Yep, we're gonna be sweet.
Yep. So
But we're playing games, so if anybody wants to play games,
yeah, keep an eye
come
on
find us.
Twitter.
Parties are always open, so.
See you fastback. And does that mean I'm not a gentleman? Is that why you put and?
Yeah.
Gentlemen
That's
and
what that
Nate.
means.
That's great. So yep. So keep an eye on our Twitter feed. You can catch us at you see our Twitter feed. You also see the NL Gaming Twitter feed down there. Keep an eye on the Twitch channel. We're gonna try to figure out how to get some more streaming done. That's one of my goals in 2018 is to try to revamp. We don't stream as much as we used to. Some of it's just time. Some of it's just the energy to get the stuff to stream, and we don't do Patreons and stuff like that because we don't take this wrong, internet. We don't need or want your money. We're here for fun, and we're here as a hobby, and we're here because you guys love us and listen to us. So we just have to figure out a way to get some streaming in for you and try to do some new things next year. We'll sort that out. But in the meantime, everybody have, for those of my my fellow Jews, happy 6th night of Hanukkah. It's almost over for us. Merry Christmas to all of our other folks and you guys, and we will see you after the new year. And everybody keep it gaming. We'll talk to you soon.
And have some chicken dinner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the restroom and I'm gonna do
Arr.
it. So anybody want to hop on
I'm going to go do some VR.
or VR? You can't join Stinger though. He's a
Yeah, you
loner.
can't.
Sorry guys.
Play on.
Or Ghost
Gamer.
Recon.
That's right.
God.
Oh, Nate is Nate. Okay, I'll take that. Ring, ring, banana phone.
Man, I'm looking at this GT manual, and you get a second manual with it, and it's got all this detail about the cars and the tracks. I wish it would, it's the one side, downside of digital, I guess. You just don't get manuals like this anymore.
Yeah, but even
Not
like,
physically.
even like in the 360 days, where manuals were far to be found, though.
Indeed.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Are we still on, or?
Well, peace out, everybody.
Peace.